All right, guys. So you spoke, you put your foot down, and dealerships are finally starting to listen. For the longest time, dealerships did not listen to the consumers. They hit us with these inflated prices, markups, right? Extremely high MSRPs, and then markup on top of that, $5, $10, $20,000 markups on some of these cars. Well, it's gotten so bad for dealerships now that they've had to come up off of those markups, man. And I'm here to say that from this point forward, to the end of the year, right? So from now until the end of the year, no markups on all Chargers, Challengers, T-Rexes, Durango Hellcats, Durango 392's, RTs, nothing. No more markups. Everything from this point forward is MSRP. Dealerships are getting desperate at this point, and they need you to buy these cars. No more markups. Everything is MSRP as advertised. Let's talk about it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video, man. So you can tell I'm in a car that makes this a car vlog. You already know what's going down to come around. Let's get into it. Car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around because you're in the right place. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. So boom. One thing that we've talked about constantly on this channel, and I've told you guys numerous times, is that from a financial perspective, you need to make it make sense. All right. No car is ever going to be a house. No car is truly ever going to be an investment. Now, my car happens to be an investment because of my YouTube channel, but for most people, 90% of the population, these are just luxury items. You know what I'm saying? Aside from getting you from A to B extremely fast, they really serve no purpose. Like, you know, everything that Nissan Altima does, this Hellcat does as well. It just does it faster and louder. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, one thing that we have been talking about a lot on this channel is just the prices of these cars and how expensive they've been, the markups on these cars. Like even with the dealerships in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is where I'm at currently, I've seen markups anywhere between 10 to 30,000, right? So they were initially marking up the Scatpacks 10,000, right? So you would see a Scat for like 55, 56. But then it would have a $10,000 dealer markup. So you would end up paying 66, 67, something like that, you know? And then the Hellcats were worse because if it were a standard Hellcat, you would see like a $20,000 markup. So instead of 88,000, you would see, what's that, like 110, 118, something like that. And then, or 108, no. Yeah, like 108. Yeah, 108, something like that. And then for red eyes and everything up, you would see 30,000 plus. So you would see 10,000, 20, $30,000 markups. Well, that is in the past because now there is more supply than there is demand. Now, you know, economics 101, supply and demand, right? If the demand is there, the supply normally is not, which is why what supply there is, the price goes up on those, simply put. It's the opposite now. There's more supply than there is demand. And because of the supply, a lot of dealerships are coming off of some of those markups, right? Now, I've been told specifically in Charlotte, North Carolina, from my dealership that I bought my car from, and I'm going to put up my man's information, my man Josh Welch, he explained to me that from now until the end of the year, right? So from now until the end of 2023, there will be no more markups on Dodge muscle cars, right? Chargers, Challengers, RT, Scatpacks, Hellcats, jailbreaks, Durango Hellcats, Durango 392's, T-Rexes, the whole nine. No more markups. They are motivated and incentivized to get rid of these damn cars, right? The last time I went up to that dealership, I mean, it looked like a Dodge SRT museum. And the reason I say that is because I saw so many Scatpacks and Hellcats up there. It was ridiculous. I felt like they literally had a museum going on up there. They had some sort of history event or something wild like that because there were so many SRTs up there. It was crazy, right? And they're getting rid of them. They want to get rid of them because truth be told, for one, let's be real here. These cars are going to be around well into 2024. So for you guys out there that's trying to hustle and scrape up money to get your Scat or your Cat before the end of the year, don't rush it. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10, you will probably still see 23 Chargers and Challengers well into 2024, maybe even this time next year, right? They're still going to be getting rid of these cars. They're not just going to trash them or send them to used car dealerships. They're still very much so going to be on Dodge dealerships, okay? I highly doubt that they're going to be able to sell all of these SRTs and RTs and everything in between from what, November to December 31st. You know what I'm saying? Just to make way for 2024 Dodge Hornets and Jeep Wranglers, you know? And the new Dodge Charger, which we have no idea about when it's coming out, what it's going to look. We don't know. All we've seen is concepts. These cars are going to be around for at least another year and a half max, you know? So don't rush as far as making rash decisions when it comes to your money. But what I am noticing, and this is specific to my dealership in Charlotte, so I apologize if I made it seem like this is a worldwide thing. It's not. But a lot of dealerships are going to have to follow suit. My dealership is not charging anything over MSRP at this point, right? So if you see a Scat for 55, it's 55. You see a Cat for 88.90, it's 88.90. No dealership markup, no BS on top of it. You know, at this point, they just want to get rid of these cars. You know, they used to do it to where they would do maybe a month of no markups or a week and a half of no markups. At this point, they really want to get rid of these cars. So for the next 2 months, for obviously November, December to the end of the year, it's no markups on these cars. They're ready to get rid of them. I mean, the reality of the situation is that based on what I've been told, prior to the strike, they saw the strike coming, right? The consumer didn't, but apparently they saw the strike coming. And because of that, they just kind of flooded all Dodge dealerships with Scats, Cats, Hellcats, you know, Durangos, 392's, RTs. They flooded the market with as many of those cars possible because they were afraid that this strike could last until the end of the year. And if it lasted to the end of the year, no one's producing more cars. You know what I'm saying? No one's producing new cars at that point. So it's like, if we've got no one producing cars and the dealerships are sold out, we're not making any money to the end of the year. So let's flood the market with as many RTs, Scats, Cats, everything and in between that we can to hold us over until this strike is over. We can get people back to work. Well, they did that. What they didn't realize is that the consumer was going to put their foot down and basically say, we're not paying these inflated prices anymore. So whether you're on a strike or not, we're not paying $70,000+ for a Scat, and we're not paying $100,000+ for Cats anymore. You've been giving us the same car since 2015. We're just not going to do it. So at this point, they have more supply than they have demand for the supply, which is why dealerships all over America, I've seen YouTube channels. There's this one guy, he used to live in Charlotte. He lives in Houston now, or Texas. I'm not sure what part of Texas. I think it's Houston. He reported the same thing. He went to his dealership. I was just down in Atlanta, not Atlanta, but Alpharetta, Georgia, twice in the past month. And they've got just as many Scats and Cats just waiting to be sold as I've ever seen. And then, of course, in Charlotte, it's the exact same thing. Scats and Cats like crazy. I parked my car under a tree, and now I've just got leaves on leaves on leaves just falling on top of my car, completely disrespecting my Hellcat. But, you know, who cares if nature doesn't care, whatever. But dealerships all over the world at this point are being flooded with SRTs. And the reason that these cars are just sitting there is because nobody's paying these inflated prices, which is why these dealerships are going to have to start getting desperate, right? It starts with my dealership. I'm the first, or at least my dealership is the first one that I've heard that's doing this. Trust me when I say it will matriculate and move over to other dealerships all over the world, right? I can only imagine it's coming to your dealership pretty soon. Eventually, your dealership is going to wisen up, come to the realization that they cannot keep charging $60,000, $70,000 for Scats, and they cannot keep charging $100,000 for Cats and expect people to come in and buy them. It just doesn't work that way. They're going to have to come up off of the prices, which means these markups are going to have to, they're going to have to disappear. You know what I'm saying? They've already disappeared at my dealership. I'll put my man's information so that you guys can contact him. Josh Welch, he's the same guy that I bought my Hellcat from, and he took care of me on that. Trust me when I say. But they're getting rid of markups, man. So it's going to, like I said, matriculate from dealership to dealership because it's getting interesting out there. I mean, like I said, I've never seen this many SRTs on a lot before, ever in my lifetime, especially heading into the discontinuation of these cars. You would think that because they're being discontinued, they would be hard to find. That's not actually what's happening here. It's actually the opposite. Because they're being discontinued, nobody wants to pay these crazy prices. And I've always told you guys that, you know, if it's a good deal, it'll wait. And thus far, it has worked out for the consumer because the longer you guys have waited, the more supply you have to choose from. And it's, you know, that's holding true to this point. So dealerships are realizing that we can't keep selling these cars at these prices. We've got to somehow or another make it make sense for the consumer. And a lot of dealerships are doing that now. Mine in particular is doing the no markup thing at all. So no dealer markup, no $10,000 on top, no $20,000, no $30,000, MSRP. What you see on the little the ticket or whatever the case may be, that's what your car should sell for, aside from taxes and all that other BS. But prepare for it, man. It's coming to a dealership near you. These dealerships are getting drastic. They're getting desperate. And it's getting close to the end of the year. Not to mention, it's the holidays. So holidays always breeds discounts for everything. Discounts on cars, TVs, clothes. Come on now. You already know how it goes down. So between discounts and the fact that they're just trying to get rid of as much of these 2023s as possible, they are going to be motivated. So right now is probably, depending on where you are, like I said, I think my dealership is the only one that I know of that's doing the no markup thing. But a lot of dealerships will follow suit. Trust me when I say that. I mean, when they come to the realization that they've got more cars on the lot than they, can sell, they're going to find some way to start getting rid of these cars. You know what I'm saying? They're going to start just throwing them away. You know what I'm saying? Hellcats, come get a brand new Hellcat 70,000. Just take it. Scatpack, come get a new Scat for 35. Just take it. Just get rid of it. So the longer you wait, the more I think it benefits the consumer. And thus far, we put our foot down, we spoke on it, and dealerships are finally starting to listen. No markups anymore from now until the end of the year. And then even beyond that, if these cars still are on the lot, going into 2024 for Chargers, Challengers, Durangos, T-Rexes, Wranglers, the whole nine. They're really getting motivated, guys. And it works out for us. It works in our advantage. So it's one of those things like, just don't cave in. You know what I'm saying? For you guys out there that may not be getting this deal at your dealership yet, negotiate with them, talk to them, because a lot of these dealerships really don't have much of a leg to stand on right now when it comes to negotiating. It's like, listen, I now understand you want 108 for this cat, but I've got 92 or 92,000 in cash or 95,000 in cash or 100,000 in cash. You can either take this 100,000 or you can wait on somebody coming in and paying 108 or 110 or whatever you're asking. So dealerships know. So with that being said, guys, it's been your boy Knockout 360, man. I mean, we waited, we spoke on it, we put our foot down. Dealerships are listening, so we should be able to get some of these cars for decent prices. With that being said, talk to your boy, like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you in the next one, man. Peace.